All right, let's talk about something that's been shaping the world for centuries, but is still evolving right in front of us. Religion in the modern world. You ever wonder why religion used to be the absolute center of society? But now it feels like its role is shifting. Like back in the day, your entire identity was tied to your faith. It influenced how people dressed, what they ate, who they married, literally everything. But today, it's not quite the same. Some people are still deeply religious, while others have completely stepped away from it. So, what happened? How did we get here? Well, buckle up because we're taking a quick ride through history to figure that out. The Age of Enlightenment. Game changer. Let's rewind to the Enlightenment era. Basically, the 17th and 18th centuries, when people started questioning everything. Science was booming. Philosophers were debating ideas, and suddenly, religious institutions weren't the only ones with the answers. Think about guys like Voltaire, John Locke, and Immanuel Kant. They weren't saying, hey, let's get rid of religion. Instead, they were like, shouldn't people be free to think for themselves? This was a huge deal. Until then, in most places, questioning religious authority was like asking for trouble. But now, people started seeing the world through reason and science instead of just faith. This is where secularism started creeping in. Chapter 2. The Rise of Science and Technology. Fast forward a bit. Science keeps advancing, and with it, people's trust in religious explanations for, well, everything, starts to fade. The Industrial Revolution hits, and suddenly, life isn't just about surviving. It's about progress. Electricity, vaccines, factories. Humanity was proving that problems could be solved with knowledge, not just prayer. I mean, think about it. Hundreds of years ago, if there was a drought, people would pray for rain. Today, we build irrigation systems. Got sick? You don't visit a priest, you go to a doctor. Science gave people practical solutions, and slowly, religion wasn't the only guiding force in their lives anymore. Chapter 3. Religion adapts. Or does it? Now, here's where things get interesting. Some religions adapted to this modern world. They embraced education, science, and even democracy. Others, not so much. But even in the places where religion stayed strong, its power shifted. In many Western countries, governments became secular, meaning religion and state were officially separated. That was a big deal. For example, the United States was founded on the idea of religious freedom, meaning you can practice any religion you want, or none at all. But over time, fewer and fewer people identified with a specific faith. Today, we see a rise in atheism and agnosticism. And even among those who are religious, many don't necessarily follow traditional rules. Ever heard someone say, I'm spiritual but not religious? Yeah, that's a thing now. Chapter 4. Social media, the internet, and religion in the digital age. Now, let's talk about the biggest game changer in recent history, the internet. The way we share information today is insane compared to just a few decades ago. Before, if you had religious doubts, you kept them to yourself or whispered about them. Now, a quick Google search or a Reddit thread can introduce you to thousands of people who feel the same way. Social media also changed the way religious leaders interact with their followers. There are Instagram pastors, TikTok preachers, and YouTube monks. Religion is literally adapting to the digital age, but at the same time, this exposure means people see more perspectives. They're not just following what they were raised to believe, they're questioning, comparing, and choosing what makes sense to them. Chapter 5. Is religion disappearing? Now, you might be thinking, so is religion dying? Not exactly. In some parts of the world, like the U.S. and Europe, church attendance is way down, and younger generations are the least religious ever. But in places like Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia, religion is still a huge part of daily life and even growing. Some people say that as societies get wealthier and more educated, religion naturally fades. But is that really true? Because even in super-developed places, people still turn to faith during hard times. Think about major crises, natural disasters, economic crashes, even the pandemic. When life gets unpredictable, a lot of people find comfort in religion. Chapter 6. So, what's next? Honestly, nobody knows for sure. Religion has evolved for thousands of years, and it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. But what we do know is that its role in society is different now. It's more personal, more diverse, and for many, more optional than ever before. Some believe this shift towards secularism is a sign of progress, proof that humanity is moving forward. Others worry that without religion, we'd lose a sense of morality and community. What do you think? Are we better off with religion still in our lives? Or is the world heading in a totally new direction? One thing's for sure. Whether you believe or not, religion will always be a huge part of human history. And right now, we're witnessing another big chapter of that story unfold. Pretty wild, huh? If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks for everything.